That's pointing to me right now.
Correct. Well, we're on the record.
Right. I want these cameras out of my face.
Don't you touch my camera.
Yeah,
Don't you touch my camera. Don't you? I want him arrested. Hey, now he's on me. Oh, no. Oh, no. Now, you know, I find it very interesting that a certain demographic seems to have a problem with my highfalutin, house nigga educated black ass. It's very interesting, but you know, I dee just be doing, but the judge will be said to do.
Licenses that were valid and active, and one registration for Cooperative 138. We were awaiting a 14-day notice to change locations, which we lawfully appealed. It's a tax law. They're saying that they can put a moat and grant earldoms and dukedoms and princedoms to 502 stores so that they can exclude us peasants from operating around them to save our lives.
Exactly.
That's a tax law. That's a tax law.
Then when the LCB's recreational stores came in, you know, they want to get rid of all the niggas and all the hippie, you know, co-ops. And that's what they did in favor of their cronies. All right. So, you know, they made up any excuse they could to get rid of these people. And that's what happened at Co-op 138. And I'll stand by that because that's what happened. All right. They were told they were in too close of a proximity to a new retail store. But instead of saying the retail store came to the nuisance, we're going to waive it. Oh, no, they got to go. You know, boom. So that's how they got treated. Okay. And in so doing, though, evidence was fabricated.
September 17th, 2019, in relationship to this search warrant here, where they lied in the application and said that there was only one medical marijuana permit, and it was mine.
So what's on this?
Well, this states right here there's 5 medical marijuana permits. And then they did something here and they scribbled it out, the valid, and put invalid and said not for this address. Well, that's
gobbledygook.
Well, no, it's a crime. This is evidence tampering. So because the judge sees this and goes, oh, they didn't have valid permits, they had invalid permits. So with a simple pen, they changed our constitutional rights, our citizenship rights, our medical treatments for cancer and open heart surgery. This jerks and jackasses took a pen because I was trying to file a complaint against them and took away Michelle Larson's, Jennifer Old's, Roxana Larson's licenses by saying they were invalid because they weren't addressed.
Greedy for more and have nothing to the poor. The Almighty God go and strike you for sure. You grab malicious and you greedy for all. Neglect the poor when you hear them a bawl. Greedy for more and have nothing to the poor. The Almighty God go and strike you for sure. You grab malicious and you greedy for all. God won't take you with one thunderball.
Well, folks, you're here with my neighbor, Michael Shermerhorn, who is 1/4 of the Co-op 138 that was, in my opinion, wrongfully closed, formerly known as Flower Kissed. And I was just saying about how, you know, the bottom line here is that all the stuff they're talking about in their brief that I just read, coming into this case late, all that stuff is gobbledygook. It's irrelevant because what Michael didn't know was the stuff that was hidden in the dead prosecutor's desk drawer, the meeting that was held without him, and then the fact, you know, didn't discover that the main document was evidence tampered to indicate that there was no licenses, invalid licenses here. And then you brought up the UN.
Well, yeah, so...
With the stoppage of your heart that they did.
So here, I went in prior to meeting Rod Moody.
Hold on a second.
I went into
Hold on a second. Pepper, go find some cheesy puffs out there. Go find cheesy puffs.
Yeah, bye, yeah.
Bye, honey. We love you.
Yeah. I had went to try and... When I got first detained and put in handcuffs by the Skagit Interlocal Drug Task Force and Frank Black, caused a stoppage of my heart. And my heart was revived, thank God, by the Skagit Valley Fire Department paramedics. And was taken to Skagit Valley Hospital. And later, I had to get an implant in my chest.
Yep, I remember when you got to take it out.
And so after I got a doctor's note because of the stoppage of my heart and stuff like that from Dr. Brooke Ashcraft, and at that time he was at Skagit Regional Clinics, and then transferred to North Cascade.
Mm-hmm.
But he gave me a note, and after seeing the psychologist and talking to him, I was ready to go down and file a complaint in Skagit County Superior Court with Elizabeth Nowowski and against the Anacortes Police Department for assaulting me while I was trying to file a complaint against them for 3 days in a row.
Right.
So I take the note that states you guys got to be very careful because my heart is very weak right now and had just stopped and it was capable of doing that again. And that please allow me to file this complaint without any complications. And I gave that note to the Skagit County Clerk's Office. I gave them a copy of the original, and I gave the bailiff, Elizabeth Nowinski's, the original. So I went in and was first there waiting in the courtroom, and judge shows up late, and one of her friends, I don't know if it was an old boyfriend, but they knew each other really well, and he had several cases. And he just walked right in and went up in front of her, and she started dealing with him. And
she's aware that you have a medical condition.
Yeah, well, I have the medical condition, and I'm just barely hanging on there while my heart stopped. And had to be taken out of Skagit County Superior Court, Judge Nowinski's office.
She's one of the
doing
judges
business.
They recused herself, right?
She never recused herself from doing any adverse. She's the one that literally okayed the evidence tampering.
Got it.
Which I was dealing with Fred Heist 2 years later. But so I had to be taken out of the Superior Courtroom without filing a complaint again. After spending 3 days in Anacortes in the mayor's office 2 days and the chief of police's office in Anacortes trying to file a complaint. They won't allow you to file complaints here. When I tried to file a complaint in the mayor's office, when I was leaving there, I was hospitalized by 3 Anacortes police officers who broke my shoulder, my hip, and crushed my foot here, trying to file a complaint against these guys. 3 weeks later, these guys swore in a search warrant application that I was trying to steal Michelle Larson's stuff. Well, after they got the security video footage from our subcontractor, who shows Tamara O'Connor committing the crimes and Paul Ware and Associates.
Yeah.
And I'm nowhere on the film, because I was in Seattle at Hempfest working with the fire department, rendering assistance for a life-threatening situation where we had to take a gal to the hospital at Hempfest in the VIP party. So I'm very verifiable easily. I wasn't the one committing these crimes.
Didn't matter to them.
But that didn't matter. They held the videotape and told the judge that I was possibly doing, maybe not, but there could be a chance. But they put the videotape in a drawer and wouldn't ever let the judge. And when I asked for it in discovery, they wouldn't produce it. And then when I asked for the tampered licenses, which were seized, which are Department of Health documents, they didn't have any lawful right to take off of Michelle Larson's bedroom wall her medical records, Department of Health documents. Even if they were wrongly addressed, they're not able to seize this. They're medical records. And the only way you would be able to determine if they were wrongly addressed is if you were reading somebody's medical records. And if you're doing that, you've violated the law. It's a SAW portal violation. And when you see a Department of Health document, you have to provide the information on there exactly as it is presented. Your alteration of an address is evidence tampering. The document has on it the law, followed by the verification phone number, the verification address, and the verification email.
And then all that we discussed in the complaint when we filed the complaints and stuff. But let's find it down for our viewers.
Yeah. So what this means is the only lawful statement that a Skagit County Interlocal Drug Task Force prosecutor could provide for a judge that was lawful was that there was 4 licenses that were valid and active and 1 registration for Cooperative 138. We were awaiting a 14-day notice to change locations, which we lawfully appealed. It's a tax law. They're saying that they can put a moat and grant earldoms and dukedoms and princedoms to 502 stores so that they can exclude us peasants from operating around them to save our lives.
Exactly. Pause
That's
that.
a tax law. That's a tax law.
It is. And Michael, hold on. I'm going to finish right there because actually I did a video yesterday in front of the courthouse by the cannon, and I'm going to pick it up from that point with my video. And guys, thank you for joining us today. My neighbor right here.
Hey.
What's up, my neighbor? What's up, my neighbor?
Michelle Larson's property was stolen by Tamara O'Connor. We got it on videotape, but the Skagit County Sheriff's Department tried to frame me for doing that. And now they're suppressing that evidence and keeping it for a judge and not allowing Michelle Larson not going and getting her property back from Tamara O'Connor.
I know.
And that's interference with a criminal investigation. That's a crime. That's interference with the filing of a complaint. We filed 5 burglary complaints in 2019, and interfering with that criminal investigation was making a false allegation and a search and seizure warrant and then executing it the day before we're going to court with the Washington State Attorney General and the Washington State Liquor Cannabis Control Board on a boundary line dispute of a registered and licensed cooperative. So the coordination of this criminal conduct was executed so we couldn't execute our constitutional rights of addressing the Attorney General and the Washington State Liquor Cannabis Control Board on a tax issue.
That's right, and it was planned. We don't have all the it was planned. We'll wait for part 2 coming up right after this. Cheers, guys. All right, where's Pepper? Oh, there she is. Pepper, did you find any cheesy puffs?
Oh, yes.
Oh, they're good. Oh, they're good. Uh-huh. All right, guys, over and out. Peace. Want to get my Saab back today. I love the Bimmer, but yeah, Saab is coming home. Okay. Oh, Peppers. Oh, Peppers. Pepper, we got to go home. Okay, let's go.
He is not currently in the court's line of sight and is not obtrusive to the court. So the only issue is going to be whether or not what kind of a showing has to be made about news media. The court regarded the showing as sufficient. Very much, sir. And if you will give Mr. King an email address where he may properly reach you on professional matters, the court would appreciate it.
Counsel, do you have a card with that email address for me? Counsel, can I have a card with your email address? You just made it an issue for the court. You just made it an issue, and so I'd like a card with your email address on it, sir. Sir? Sir?
I had other matters to attend.
No, you had a matter to attend to right now because you brought it up. You raised the issue about an incorrect email address. Now I'm politely asking you for your card to get the correct email address as the court just instructed you, and you're walking away from me. That's disrespectful. What makes you think you can do that?
I have other matters to attend to, like I told you.
You're lying to me because you just raised the issue.
No,
It takes no effort for you to give me a
I had a recall
card.
petition to address by another.
Could you state your proper email address then? Could you just state what it is, please? Are you too busy to tell me what your email address is? Sir?
You missed the period.
I missed the period? You make no sense. I'll make sure the judge sees this. Good night. What a guy.
Sir, you're a disgrace.
What a guy. I don't even think I have my car keys. What a guy. I mean, what a guy. Wow. Wow.
Well, howdy, folks. Welcome to another illustration of King Cat's Law, justice, politics, stuff of that nature. I'm here with my puppy. and we're gonna talk about the scene of the crime right here. 2 days ago, now Moody, for his part, he was found liable for malpractice in 2022 already. He's been suspended twice. He's been reprimanded once, and the bar continues to protect this man against other complaints that keep filtering in. Oh yes, they do. And it's my opinion that he sells his clients down the river and he's protected, okay? So you may have seen in the video the other day, basically, evidence was apparently fabricated. There was a sheet that dealt with the number of medical cannabis patients at Co-op 138. It was actually called Flower Kiss. Then the LCB, Liquor Cannabis Board, renamed it. But in any event, they had 4 or 5 legitimate patients at that facility. Then when the LCB's recreational stores came in, they want to get rid of all the niggas and all the hippie, co-ops. And that's what they did in favor of their cronies, all right? So, they made up any excuse they could to get rid of these people, and that's what happened at Co-op 138. And I'll stand by that, because that's what happened, all right? They were told they were in too close of a proximity to a new retail store. But instead of saying the retail store came to the nuisance, we're gonna waive it, oh no, they gotta go, boom! So that's how they got treated, okay? And in so doing, though, evidence was fabricated.